How are you guys doing? Today on Age of Empires Mobile, I'm going to give you 5 epic skills that you know you can invest into, 4 stars, level 40, and they will never let you down on certain heroes that you might want to be working on your account. Because as you guys know, when it comes to Age of Empires Mobile, it is a cost to actually unlock legendary skills, right? The actual skill itself is equivalent to 8,000 Empire coins if we're going to unlock it. Otherwise, you're going to have to complete this through events or spending during certain value packs, as kind of like one's popped up right now, and you'll be able to get these for your account. So obviously for free-to-play players, you're not going to be wanting to unlock every single legendary skill on each hero because it's obviously not obtainable to do. So what you're able to do, like my Boudica here, is keep one at least epic skill, unlocked. And the thing is, there is some better epic skills in the game compared to others, and we're going to go over 5 epic skills in this video, and then at the end I'm even going to give you 2 honorable mentions just to kind of give you guys a little bit of info about those skills and not to leave them out either, right? So the first one we need to talk about is going to be on our good old Tribuana, or many different supports that have this skill. The skill is Fortification. It has a 100% activation chance, and after the condition is met, which is when your hero recovers units. So it's really good on Tribuana, because if you didn't know, she does recover your units when your commander uses their signature active skill every 3 times. So she's going to be able to do this. Obviously, when your Miyamoto, then she, and then say the Yori is triggering their skills, this can now start to happen. What this does is it increases, after you've obviously recovered your units, all of your heroes' armors, guys. And it's not just one. Not one hero, it's all 3 in that formation. And what's absolutely cracked about this, which people really are sleeping on, is when you get this level 40, because I've already got this 4 stars on max rank, it's 110 armor for 3 seconds after you recover a unit. And just to give you guys a little perspective on how much armor that actually is for a hero, just click on your little attributes overview here, and you'll notice here is the armor value 269.4, and that's on my Tribuana. Now imagine 110, that's just around 40%, right, of this number coming on top, which is kind of crazy if you think about it, and just getting that added on. And this is going as well on all of your other commanders. So again, just imagine your Miyamoto, he has 312 armor. That is a third, nearly 30% of his armor getting added on again to that march. Yodi, my unit's only level 91, but again, 261 armor, guys. No laughing matter. So for Fortification, this is hands down one of the most safest and best epic skills you can max out and rock out on any of your marches. I have to put that as the number one, kind of make sure you guys know about this before we go into any of the other skills, right? So we've got the defense, right? We've gone through a defensive one. So we'll go on the opposite spectrum and we'll talk about offense, right? Because we have, obviously, that's a no-brainer. The next no-brainer, if you didn't try this already, is gonna be Armor Piercer. Oh boy. Armor Piercer is really good because it is a normal attack based skill. So again, if you're running stuff like Lubu, Mulan, you name it, just Hannibal, anyone that launches a normal attack, and yes, this is based off might, we're going to go on the Hannibal in a second, but it reduces all of their enemies' heroes' armor. So this is a really good counter almost to what we've just looked at of Fortification. So people might run Fortification, and if they don't, you're going to be even happier, because basically this is going to strip them by 50, which is meaning you're going to hit them even harder with 250% damage. Is absolutely crazy, if you ask me, just to have this as a free epic skill. And just remember, if they do have Fortification, This means if you hit them, they're only gaining now 60 armor, not 110 armor. So that does feel quite good, if you ask me, on Armor Piercer. And again, this is one of the better damage options when it comes to actually dealing damage and having a utility effect, which is useful for other players to actually take advantage of, right? So Armor Piercer definitely needs to be on that list, right? So now we're coming into the unknown territory. Obviously, there's 3 more skills that I am going to recommend on here, and the first one is going to be Metal. So Metal is a pikeman skill, and it is a really good skill that I actually think people sleep on just because of how easy this recovery actually is. So every 12 normal attacks you take by your troops, and you can take up to 2 normal attacks per second, meaning if you're in a 1v1 and they do the double attack state, you will get 2 attack triggers, meaning in 6 turns, this means this is going to hit and recover you, right? Or if you are swarmed by 2 or more enemies, again, you're going to get this maximum efficiency of 2 normal attacks per second, meaning after 6 turns, you're going to have your recovery. And it's not a small amount of recovery. At max, it's 170% based on your might bonus and armor bonus. And this is just, again, a really good skill that Joan of Arc and other pikemen that you may have on your account can have maxed out with those easy to obtain epic skill scrolls and have some sustainability on your march. Because the thing is, I would 100% rather have that, while instead of keeping vigilance. Can you understand my point? Like, why would you want to keep a skill like vigilance, which gives you a 50% chance to inflict rout, which is just not good at all, over just constant healing, on top of when you're mainly trying to do is support your march with Kingsblade, right? So Metal, really good skill, and you can get this on a bunch of different heroes too. So if you are looking at any of your marchers right now in the game, you're like, oh, actually I can run Metal on this hero, you'll be surprised that it actually is going to do a fantastic job on that hero, right? So that is already 3, guys, 3 of the skills we've got there, right? So let's go on to the 4th skill we've got, which is gonna be one out of the ordinary, but it's on Wai Sun Shin. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this skill, because it's unique to certain players, right? And this is why it is on the top, I would say 5 list, but it's in the 5 list that you need to worry about. So one of them is Blaze Impact, right? Some people might hate me for saying this, but I actually really like this skill if you're a tactician archer player, because this deals a strategy damage to the enemy troop, which is 165%, which is really good. It means it does a single target bang on them, but then it also inflicts burn, which is a really good factor skill, because it means you don't have to unlock conflagration, right? Conflagration here, as you can see, deals strategy damage 128% and also does the burn effect. The fact that you can have this on an epic skill, and yes, it's less damage, is what it is, right? But if you go to actually the max skill on this, it's not bad at all, right? For that 40% and 165%, and especially if you're running certain heroes like Suleiman, right? Suleiman really does care about heroes that can apply burn, apply silence, and obviously himself that can apply incapacitation to you, right? So having an epic skill that enables that, and its strategy and not the might meta, is really good. So if you are trying to run tactician strategy based marches that need a burn mechanic, and you're not willing to spend 8k just to get the conflagration, because there might be the immortal army, for example, which you can unlock on Theodora, for example, just kind of showcase there for argument's sake. If you're trying to unlock this skill instead of having both of them unlocked, well, you could potentially have that Blaze on there if she has options to it. So the next skill we're going to be talking about, funnily enough, is on my good girl Theodora here, and that's kind of why I've segued onto her, and it is on other marches too, which we're going to showcase. Suppression. So this is the final kind of one I want to really talk about, and then we're going to go into some honorable mentions that are still really good art, really good skills that you can 4-star and you can level 40, and they are going to be good. But I really wanted to get a variety on this video because I know every single person doesn't play just warrior archers or just warrior cavalry or just warrior infantry. The more I've been looking at my community, some of you guys like martial heroes. Some of you actually like tactician archers or tactician infantry. So why not give you all a bit of everything, right? Suppression is that skill though. It is that skill that probably if you're a strategy based person, you really do love, because when you max this out, you're doing 180% strategy damage to them, which is so goddamn good. But on top of that, for an epic skill, it's your first actual interaction of might and strategy stealing. So you're reducing the enemy's commander's might or strategy by 25 points. And it might not sound like a lot, but the fact is, when you have this maxed out, you'll realize 25 bonus is better than nothing. And the fact is, comparing that to some of the other skills you can have on here just isn't great. These type of skills like maneuver is just simply just better on a legendary version compared to the purple version here. You could try and have this where you can have that chance to skip, but from all of our testing, it's just not enough to actually value put it in. But we're going to try maybe in the future, maybe there's a maneuver meta where it becomes really, really powerful. But for me, I would definitely talk about suppression, because again, certain players out there, just to kind of throw it in there in the loop, may own Philip, right? So if you own Philip and you're just looking for one of these skills to get rid of, well, you can keep the good old suppression here because you're getting a nice little tempo swing in the battle, and you can replace your boulder trap with, depending on what skill you want down here, on your strategist, master's gift, high spirit, or war tactics, depending on what you want to do, right? So really do like that 5 war skill set up there. So what we're going to do is kind of talk about some honorable mention skills here to round up the epic skill video. And if you have these unlocked, or you've got them 2, 3, or even 4-star, they're not terrible. That's the best way to put it. They're not terrible. They're really good in their own right, but they might be a little bit more niche for your account. So the first one I have to kind of talk about is the unfortunate Sunder, right? Sunder is one skill that all infantry free-to-play players will have maxed, because at 4 stars, at the maximum route, you keep the chance of 20%, but you're increasing the amount of damage you're dealing, which is really actually important for the King Derek March here, right? Because if you're running Hammurabi primary, you will be doing the exact same thing as I'm doing, which is running his main skill, right, which inflicts rout, but then also having Sunder maxed out to inflict rout with the most damage. This is going to allow that King Derek to actually synergize, making the enemy take more might damage through them, and that means they have to be in a rout state though. So this is why it's a really good niche epic skill, because if you're trying to do a rout combo, Sunder is really good for that, because it's an epic skill that's super cheap to max out, and it works with your King Derek, with your Hammurabi, which a lot of people are actually gonna be running. Another one we need to talk about, and I wanted to go all the way down to Lubu, because a lot of you guys are running Lubu right now, and yes, there's one skill on him, and a lot of other heroes have it too, and it's not the armor piercer. We've already talked about how good armor piercer really was. It's all about infuriation. Infuriation is a really good kind of skill. Again, if you wanted to, if you already have your Attila, for example, with armor piercer, your Lubu doesn't need it to. You can get rid of this for any of your other skills like Ripper Tiger here or Weak Spot Attack. I'd definitely go for Ripper Tiger first, just to get that insane critical strike up there. But then with Infuriation, this also is a damage steroid. So this is why it's a really good honorable mention if you do want to go for an epic skill, because this is increasing your hero's might by 50 for 3 seconds after you launch a normal attack, and it's still 250% damage onto that target, which is kind of good for an epic skill. And yes, these are not legendary skills, and yes, they're not the best skills in the game, but for people that are free-to-play players that are waiting to unlock a double legendary skill slot, these are some of the best skills that you can definitely run on your matches, right? So to finally off on the good old epic stuff, it's on Hannibal, right? On Hannibal, I do love sowing discord. This is absolutely bonkers, because for your Hannibal, you do get Infuriation, which you can replace with double attack. And with just that one skill and having sowing a discord, this allows you to steal enemies' strategy from them, which is just crazy. The fact that you're dealing 185 strategy damage and stealing 30 strategy from them on an epic skill, which is a 25% chance, meaning 1 in 4. This is always going to be happening. I really, really like it. So I really have to kind of put that in there as an honorable mention, just because obviously Infuriation and the one we've just gone through too on the back end of things. So those are the best, I honestly say, epic skills in the game that you can easily max out 4-star. And if you're playing pikemen, infantry, cavalry, and archers, you're going to get something out of them, either if it's sustain or damage, or even, you know, tempo swings from stealing stats or reducing enemy stats, right? So we're getting the best of the best that we can, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts down below on maybe another epic skill you think should have definitely made the list, or if you agree with me, these are some of the best epic skills in Age of Empires Mobile. So until then, until the next video, guys, smash that comment and subscribe. Till then, stay safe, stay sneaky, peace out.